cleaned the yard, tended the chickens,
washed her clothes in the river,
carried water, cut firewood,
and cooked her solitary meal. At the end of each day, Shindu gazed up at the snowy peaks of the rain.
Great mountain spirit, my work is too hard. Let me help.
One day, Shindu was weeding her small field by the river, where she grew vegetables of bananas and gourds. Suddenly, a noble chieftain appeared beside her.
I am a messenger from the great mountain spirit.
He handed the woman some gourd seeds.
Plant these carefully. They are the answer to your prayers.
Then the chieftain vanished.
What help could I get from this handful of seeds?
Still, she planted them and tended them as carefully as she could.
Shindu was amazed at how quickly the seeds grew. In just a week, long vines showed over the ground and ripe gourds hung from them. Shindu brought the gourds home, sliced off the tops, and scooped out the pulp. Then she laid the gourds on the rafters of her hut to dry. The next morning, Shindu went off again to tend her field. But meanwhile, back in the hut, the gourds began to fade.
They sprouted heads.
Then arms, then legs.
Soon they were not gourds at all. They were
Children!
The children started quickly on the shores.
Clean the hut, clean the yard. Feed the chickens. Wash the clothes.
Carry the water!
Cut the wood. Cook the meal. Ding.
When the work was done, they climbed back on the raft. Then they all turned again into gourds.
That afternoon, as Shindu returned home, the other woman of the village called to her. Who are those children in the yard today?
Where did they come from? Why were they doing your chores?
What children? Are you making fun of me?
But when she reached her hut, she was astounded.
The work was done and even her meal was ready. She could not imagine what helped her.
The same thing happened the next day. As soon as Shindu had gone off, the gourds turned into children, with heads
And arms. And legs.
Again, they climbed down from the rafters.
Clean the hut, clean the yard. Feed the chickens. Wash the clothes.
Carry the water!
Cut the wood. Cook the meal. Ding.
Then they climbed back to the rafters and turned again into gourds. Once more, Shindu came home and was amazed to see all the work done. But this time she decided to find out who were her helpers.
The next morning, Shindu pretended to leave, but she hid beside the door of the hut and peeked in. And so, she saw the gourds turn into children, with heads
And arms. And legs.
and she saw them climb down from the rafters.
Clean the hut, clean the yard. Feed the chickens. Wash the clothes.
Carry the water!
Cut the wood. Cook the meal.
When they were done, they started to climb back to the rafters.
No, I did not. No, you must not turn back into gourds. You will be the children I never had, and I love you and care for you.
So Shindu kept the children as her own. She was no longer lonely.
And the children were so helpful, and Shindu loved having her children. But sometimes when she was tired or happy about something else, she would get annoyed and yell.
One day, Shindu was out in the yard cutting vegetables for a stew. As she carried the pot from the bright sunlight into the hut, she tripped over the children. She fell and the clay pot shattered. Vegetables and water streamed everywhere.
Haven't I told you to stay out of my way? What can I expect? You're children are nothing but cabbage.
The very next moment, the children were gone. In their place was gold.
What have I done? I did not mean what I said. You are not cabbage, you are my own dummy children.
For a long moment, nothing happened. Then slowly,
The gorgs began to change. They sprouted heads.
then arms, then legs.
At last, they were no longer gorgs at all. They were
Children!
Shindu learned her lesson. Ever after, she was very careful what she called her children.
and so they gave her comfort and happiness. All the rest of her